I'm the Court Jester, just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you. Just wanna be free in thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it all turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end. And I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you walk through the darkness before you see the light. I'm just the Court Jester, fire from the North Star. A day late and an hour short.
Some of you will recognize that part.
I'm the Court Jester, just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you. Just wanna be free and thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it all turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end. And I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. I'm just a Court Jester, fire from the North Star, a day late and a dollar short. I'm a Court Jester, just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you, just wanna be free in thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end, and I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. I'm just a Court Jester, fire from the North Star, a day late and a dollar short. I'm just a Court Jester, just looking for a laugh.
Nice.
Yeah, that one was born last night. That's why the late edition last night happened really late. So the next one is Dancing in the Moonlight. That was born the other day.
Hey baby, what's doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop, jump around, let's have some fun. It's the rockiest hotel town. I told the boys, wow, what they said. She sure can boogie. Dancing in the moonlight. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby sure can boogie. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop around, jump around. Let's have some fun. It's the rockiest old half sound I told the boys. Wow, what they said. She sure can boogie. Dancing in the moonlight. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. They sure can boogie. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop, jump around, let's have some fun. It's the rockiest show downtown. I told the boys. Wow, that's what they said. She sure can boogie. Dancing in the moonlight. Hey, baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby, sure can boogie. Hey, baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop, jump around. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. It's the rockiest toe town. I told boys. Wow, what they said. She sure can boogie. Dancing in the moonlight. Hey, baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby, sure can boogie. Hey, baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop, jump around, let's have some fun.
Fun.
It's the rockiest toe tap sound. I told boys, wow, what they said. She sure can boogie. Dancing in the moonlight. Hey, baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby, sure can boogie. Hey, baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie out on the dance floor.
Salute.
That's as good as I can dance. Sorry, I'm a white dude.
Yeah, that song was born literally like 2 days ago, and the one before it, the Court Jester, that was literally born yesterday between 9 something and 10 something. And by 10 something, the vocals were completely done, and I had all the levels adjusted, and boom, it was ready. One of those kind of funny things that happen. They're magical when they happen like that. Just a great feeling.
Yeah, man, it really lifted my spirits a bit.
Yeah, and isn't there enough darkness in the world? I'm here to put a little bit of light back into it, is what I'm going to do. And if they don't like that, well, fuck them.
Hear, hear. An interesting synergy of the universe, right?
Yeah.
So my clients, you caught me on the road yesterday, right? They gifted me, guess what?
Something really cool?
Cognac.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind?
EOS. I've not heard of it.
Oh, I've heard of that. That's good stuff. And that's not bad.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
That I can't remember if it's better than Hennessy, very special, or not. But that's a decent one too.
Yeah. I thought it was cool because I don't normally drink it, but
Hail cognac.
Yeah, Hail cognac. Yeah. So I've got some.
So yeah, cognac does not get rid of my filter. Only certain tiny parts of my filter goes away, but other than that, I have my filter still.
Yeah. Hail filters.
Hail to filters.
Sure that we won't go any further than that with that.
Hail to uplifting conversation.
Yeah, it's good to do a little dancing.
My cousin might be out there listening. My cousin Jason. Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey.
We were reminiscing on Facebook about how we used to close PJ's Bar and Grill. Oh man, we would go in there, and you would have thought that we consumed the whole freaking brewery. And we're talking the kind of drinking where when you wake up the next day, you wake up drunk, but you don't get that way until you drink a glass of water.
Yep.
There's a reason why they say when you get up after night drinking, drink coffee. There's a reason, because you're going to get drunk on the water. You're going to get drunk all over again.
Yeah, man.
One night, we really, really just did it in real good, and we drank some water in the morning. We were all drunk again. Yeah, it was insane. But yeah, those are that was back when I was 21. Crazy days.
Yep. Boy, I remember days like that. I've actually had a few days like that fairly recently, too. Yeah, and don't drink the water too fast. Otherwise, you might puke. Yeah, that's another important lesson.
Yeah.
Although I'm a pretty good puker. The key to being a good puker is not to resist the puking. Just go to the sink or the toilet and let her rip, man.
Oh yeah, because you know the old saying, "It gonna happen. Nothing you can do to stop it."
Yep.
You may as well get it over with.
Yep. Yeah. It's better than sitting in bed sweating and just
Yeah. So yeah, those two songs, I haven't made a video of it yet, and so I need to go out and I found a couple cool little filters that makes everything look like it's warped when it's all moving, and I used the neon light filter on it, and I had this video. I was driving down the road. I was making a video and talking, and right on the Nisqually tribe, there's a 2-lane road on both sides, but the right lane ends toward as you're leaving the res. And so this guy in this white Chevy van was deciding that he was going to go faster than me. And the guy in the Ford Fusion was already zing ahead. He was gone, getting in front of me, because you can see how he gets in front of me. But what you can't see off camera to my right, and when you hear them go, woo, because I didn't let them pass. I floored it. They could not outspeed a 6-cylinder Dodge engine in a Caravan engine.
Yeah.
But they tried to pass me. So that's what that video is. But we're gonna show that here in a minute. Let's see.
Yeah, Pentastar's got a little bit of pep to it.
Say that again.
That Pentastar, the V6 has a little bit of pep to it.
Yeah, those 3.3 liter V6 engines.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. I think that's it. Oh, damn it. I don't remember sharing the sound. I swear it's not the cognac.
Well, StreamYards has been acting up too. Just blame it on StreamYards.
Yeah. I don't have my VPN running either.
Dude, I forgot the password to mine, and now I can't. I don't know. I should probably fire it up again.
Reset your password. That's what I do if I forget it.
But here's the funny thing. When I forget the password and they say to reset the password, I put in the new password, and they say the password can't be the same as your previous password. But it's like, that's the one I used.
Oh, wow. This is acting all freaking wonky. Let me make sure it's not on 2160p, because these are 4K videos. All right. Let's make sure it's right there. There we go. So yeah, in this beginning part, you see the car on the right there. He was already passed. There's a white van next to me trying to pass me, and the lane's about to end. So I just freaking floored it. And the guy, not for a lack of trying, he really tried hard to pass me. I just wouldn't let him. Hey, I grew up in Chicago, driving in Chicago, so I'm a little bit of an aggressive driver when I need to be. So all right, let's this one's called In the Morning Light. This was from a few days ago. Okay, sound. Tell me if you hear the sound.
Yep.
Good. That's a snowstorm.
Fly with the eastern sun in the morning light. A surf beating the sand, sand in the wind, whirling around, flying through the sands of time. Surf beating the sand in the wind, whirling around, flying through the sands of time. flying through the sands of time, in the sands of time, walking with me in time. We will figure all this out. We will figure all this out. Fly with the eastern sun in the morning light. Surfing the sand and in the wind, whirling around, flying through the sands of time. Surfing the sand. Flying with the eastern sun in the morning light. Surfing the sand in the wind, whirling around, flying through the sands of time. Surfing the sand. Sand in the wind, whirling around, flying through the sands of time. In the sands of time, walking with me. In time, we will figure this out. Fly with the eastern sun in the morning light. Surfing the sand in the wind, whirling around through the sands of time, surfing the sand. We fly with the eastern sun in the morning light, surfing the sand in the wind.
Cool little effect there with the sunset, huh?
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to Masquerade Costume Party. So yeah, I swear 3 songs tried to happen at once the other day. Telling you, it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, slow down.
That's the way creativity works. A lot of the time.
Yeah, and because there's sometimes some songs they're a lot of work, because those songs ain't necessarily flowing from the natural, but they're good songs. They end up being good songs, and so what I do is I put those aside, and I go back to them and I change a little here and there, and then when it starts to look right and everything clicks like fucking Legos snapping together, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's if once it's there, then I know I can move forward and create the vocals. But yeah, so yeah, I watched that mirror episode of STD, and when I was watching it, I kept having to tell myself a lot of the acting and some of the writing is bad, but I kept wanting to like it. But yet, I was not liking it at the same time. It was really, really weird. Strange. Because, there was a decent premise. There was a good idea for the story, but it's just everything else was really lacking. And no Lorca, like you said, Wes. No Lorca.
Yeah, spoiler alert. They mention Lorca a lot, and so it's like, where's Lorca? And Lorca, of course, doesn't make an appearance because Jason Isaacs knows that he's too good for this show. So, I'm assuming that, it's clear they've blown their budget, since pretty much half of the scenes always seem to take place in like the mess hall.
Yeah, I heard someone refer to that as bottle ship filming.
Yep.
Is that correct? I can't remember. Was it Jane Theory that's was it Jane Theory that said that, or Script Doctor? I heard one of the two mentioning it.
I believe that would be Script Doctor. Yeah.
I had never heard the term before. That's interesting.
Yeah. And they did the Guardian of Forever, which I guess now he's a dude in a suit, and the Guardian can pick up and move the gate anytime he wants to. I mean, he's played by a good actor. I like the actor. He was
Yeah, me
Brass in CSI.
Yeah, he's played bad guys. He's played good guys. I'm not sure, but I think he might have some. I think he may have some theater experience. I could have swore I've seen him in theater before.
Yeah. Well, given the outfit he was wearing, I would like to see him play Ebenezer Scrooge now.
Yeah, I mean he's a good actor. I've seen him in a lot of different stuff.
I could, or like J.P. Morgan. I could see him with a giant cauliflower nose shaking a cane at somebody.
Yeah, Curtis, lots of good visuals. Everything ship-wise looked kind of cool. Cool effects. But other than a couple of different people that were acting, other than that, the acting wasn't that great. Just wasn't. And
no, it seems like they're not really even trying.
The whole rah thing when they go into that, we are Starfleet, whatever that crap. I don't know what the hell that is, man. It reminds me of what the hell were those meetings called when when I was at a telemarketing firm, we used to have these meetings where everybody would get together and they do the rah, get everybody inspired. What the frick were those things called?
Motivational meetings.
Yeah. But there's a particular name for it, and it's a common name, and the name's overused. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I thought they were called rah meetings.
It's a good description of what it is, but that's not the actual term that I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since, and I've noticed stuff like that, like seeping into society with all these kind of little rah stuff and all that stuff, and I'm not really into that,
Yeah, it has the opposite effect on me.
Yeah, it's to me, it's like nails and iron nails on chalkboard. So you scrape some actual steel nails on chalkboard and some fingernails, and then that's how irritating it is to me.
Yep.
And
team building. There you go. Is that it?
Team building's another word, but it's the word that leads more towards SJW signaling. It became overused, and it was something that human resources loved to do. We had a human resources at the telemarketing firm. Okay.
Motivational kickstart meetings. Banding together.
Say that again.
Banding together. Kickstart meeting.
No. Oh man.
Collective IQ.
It'll probably come to me in the
brainstorming.
Seminar is close.
Oh, well, they've got 600 names here. I don't think I can go through them all.
Yeah, seminar is close. But yeah, it's basically rah meetings. Another word for it you could use, because I can't remember the other one for it. Let's see what's the chat saying. Yeah, brainwash party.
Yeah, pretty much.
Morale boosting. Yeah. Damn, it's like on the tip of my tongue, and it won't go from my brain to my tongue. It's just there, but yet it won't come out. Yeah. But yeah, I just, to me, when they do that in TV shows, it's like, hey, Apollo Patriot.
Hail, Apollo Patriot.
He always says the same thing every time in entrance.
This one's a little different this time. It's an abbreviated version.
That's what he said last night when he popped in and I went on live late. Yeah, Apollo Patriot. I was creating a song, so that's what happened. Wires got crossed, and things happen. But yeah.
Wow, there's a lot more access to information on Parler than there is on Twitter. I mean, you can go right to it. Shows up in the feed, no problem.
Oh, wow. So yeah, so I gotta say, what is it, Maru? The captain of the Discovery, is it Maru? Was that his name?
Saru, yeah.
Saru. That's Maru, yeah. I don't know. Similar sounds. His character is always interesting. And I always like it when they don't have him kissing ass. Because his character is probably really the most interesting character in Discovery.
By far.
Yeah. Just his culpability, his way he does things, his moral outlook. It's not forced. It's whoever's writing his character. There must be this guy must have a contract about specifics about his character.
Yeah, well, I mean, he still suffers from some of the same problems they did with Pike, and they cut his balls off in favor of Mikey Spock.
Yeah.
Like they're telling us that she's the bestest ever, but she's horrible at her job and not a very good human being. So, which is probably what the writers are, and that's probably all they know how to write because that's what they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I can do a season 4.
Yeah, he's asking us what happened. They did a mirror universe, and they pulled the Guardian, the mysterious guy with the bowler hat, and the mysterious doorway. He ended up being the Guardian.
Yes, the Guardian of Forever is
Yeah.
I can't believe they even did a season 3 RR. I didn't think it could get much worse, but this season has been way worse than the other two.
Yeah, and I'm starting to notice that they're not hiding shit no more. They're just straight up making stuff to where it's just brainwashy. All TV show content is, on a certain point, it's kind of brainwashy. A little bit. It's like agenda this, agenda that. It's like, and it's starting to become very, very noticeable. More so than it has been. And it's been noticeable for a while now. But now, they're not even trying to hide it.
In their, at the New York Comic Con, they didn't hide it. And then with that non-binary transgender person, they stopped the show and she looked straight at the camera and said, "I've been feeling this way since I was a child. My pronouns are they, them." And I was like, I don't know what that means. If you're going to do something like that.
Mercedes Lackey would never write a story like that.
Yeah.
The preferences of Mercedes Lackey's characters were always secondary, and the story was always most important. Because, Mercedes Lackey, she writes people from the LGBTQ community, and she does it very well. And that takes a back seat to the story. And the story is front and center. Mercedes Lackey, she's a great writer. And, man, they seriously need to start reading all her stuff and take some damn notes.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not even opposed to however someone wants to identify with their pronouns. I mean, tell me a story. Okay, your pronouns are they, them. Why? Is it because you have a Trill inside you? I mean, you're talking to your dead Zer, he, she, it, they, them, their friend. I mean, can you expand on that a little bit? Because it sounds, from a science fiction point of view, like an interesting concept. Interesting concept to explore. And you already have the Trill in the lore of Star Trek.
Yep.
But no, it's just like it's about as subtle as, a Wile E. Coyote cartoon and getting an anvil dropped on your head.
Right about. Yep. Yeah.
I'm like, lady, I don't care what. I mean, I don't care. You know, are you any good at engineering? And she's not good at that either. So
I mean, what's it got to do with what they're looking for?
nothing. They didn't explore it. They didn't have an episode dedicated to. Well, I mean, they did have an episode dedicated to her, but it was horrible. They didn't have an episode dedicated to exploring that issue, or they didn't lay the groundwork and the nuggets to explore that. I mean, that could be an interesting exploration, but it didn't go there.
I mean, they could have been really creative about it.
Yeah, like the part with Chadzia Dax where she had to meet her previous hosts. That was, if you're gonna go they them. I mean, but they're not going the they them route with it. The way that they're going the multiple personalities route with it, which is I think that undercuts their agenda, and they can't even woke correctly. I'm getting mad. I need to stop.
Yeah.
So
RR says it beautifully. Beautifully said.
Yeah. People just want to have a good time. They don't want to be bombarded with social media, social justice bullcrap. Believe what you like. Just stop cramming it down other people's throats. Yep.
That is indeed. Yeah.
Speaking of a good time, what a great segue into the Mandalorian.
Yes. I don't know, man. I had very mixed feelings about the ending.
Should we spoil it?
Well, we won't quite spoil it quite yet. We'll talk about it for a little bit.
I have some mixed feelings, but most of my mixed feelings are my hatred for why they didn't do it sooner.
Yeah,
my hatred at them for not doing it sooner. I have nitpicks.
So what's this? I've heard about episode 7, 8, and 9 being redacted by Disney. Was this by the board of directors
of The Mandalorian?
No. Of episode 7, 8, and 9, because it was so bad. I've been hearing talk, and so I'm just wondering what's that all about. Because I haven't really been reading any articles about it or anything like that.
Well, as far as I know, you have the two factions in Disney. You have the Favreau wing, we'll call it, and then you have the KK wing.
The Favreites and the KKites.
Yep. And Favreau, I think it's obvious in the work of The Mandalorian that he's not a huge fan of the Disney trilogy.
Yeah, I've also heard it's a girl versus guy thing over there, too. Kind of like a civil war over at Lucasfilm.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. The radical feminists, and spoiler alert, I don't think it was started by the men. Well, Dave Filoni. I'm not. Dave Filoni is pretty mediocre in my estimation. I didn't really like the Clone Wars or Rebels, and so the parts of it.
Go on.
Yeah, the parts of it that where they had, again, I enjoyed the parts where his characters were in Mandalorian more than I enjoyed them in Clone Wars.
Yeah, I've been having one or two things, and I've been mentally comparing scenes in the Clone Wars compared to the scenes that happened in this particular episode, and that being Chapter 16, The Rescue.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been comparing. And just a minor nitpick that I've noticed, and I've been comparing the way they were showing the Mandalorians in the Clone Wars. There was both men and women being shown in fight scenes. It wasn't just women by themselves. Mm-hmm. It was both. And so I was using that as a reference. And so we got this scene. And this is a mild jump forward, but where all the women come out shooting and fighting, and they're all women. Now, it was done good. It was done good. But when I reference back to the Clone Wars, it wasn't done that way. They didn't really work that way. There was men and women Mandos working together. And so
You're not.
So it seems like they kind of overdid it just a little. I mean, it was cool, it was awesome, it was kick-ass.
You're not the only one with that opinion. I've heard that opinion from others.
I mean, I don't dislike it, but it kind of seems just a little bit off, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I could see why you'd see that. I guess my reference for the super cringy girl power moment would be Endgame, where you had Pepper Poppins.
Yeah, exactly.
We had Pepper Poppins with the fucking Iron Man suit on. Yeah. And so that's my reference for those low point in your face girl power moments. That and Captain Marvel with her really butch haircut going out there and blowing up ships. And I honestly didn't even notice that it was all females, because they had established these as being kick-ass females from the get-go.
Right.
And then they had Cara Dune there. And man, we know more about Cara Dune than we ever did about Rey.
Right.
She's a marshal for the New Republic. Cara Dune came from Alderaan. Alderaan got blown up. We know so much. And she kicks ass. She kicks ass. And I buy it. She looks like she can kick ass, and they've established that she can kick ass. So I didn't really notice it until someone else brought it to my attention, and because I was so distracted by the ending when
oh yeah
because the ladies did not save the day. Someone else did.
Yeah. And I thought that in the story, showed great story writing, because not everybody can always win the day. Sometimes you need a little help. And when you show that accurately in a story where the people to show them that they have a little flaws here and there, that's good story writing. You want to see the flaws. Not everything can be perfect every time, and then they get help from somewhere else, that shows that the writing was good, the characterization was good, and that they were fallible just a little.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I mean, I even like the part with Moff getting at the end too, when there was an intervention by Cara Dune into an action that he was planning.
Yeah.
And Cara Dune was the exact right person to make that call too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought her parts were pretty good. And that beginning scene, if you see the look in her eye, have you ever seen the look in the eye of a berserker, or heard it described in books where they're fighting with swords and stuff like that, where it's described? Mm-hmm. A berserker, it's one of those rare kind of things. She got that berserker look in her eye, and that wicked smile.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that, because that's exactly who she was. She was go-getter, and man, what kind of rifle is that she has?
I don't know. Oh, we'll see. This is a nitpick. Here's a nitpick. I'm gonna give a nitpick.
They use the word gun.
Yes, that's my nitpick.
Yeah, same nitpick.
Yeah, it's like, blaster. Yeah,
it's okay. Blaster rifle or blaster.
But it didn't take me out of it. It was just like, well, maybe they do refer to them. I don't know. Because it seems like with their metaphors, they took so many pains to ground it in the Star Wars universe. When I heard gun, I was like, wait, what?
And that's that little bit of virtue signaling, I think, sometimes that they're throwing into stuff, you know. Gun is a real world thing from here, not from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a great payoff. I thought Grogu, his what happened with him at the end of the episode was well done. And
yeah,
we're getting set up for a Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett, which looks intriguing.
Yeah, I got some feelings about that one there. They made me think of other things. But the Boba versus the girl fight, Boba, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, I kind of like the fact that he flipped her over and smashed her into a cement table, or whatever they call cement in Star Wars. Is it permacrete or something like that? They call it in Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's a weird word they use for concrete. But that was kind of an awesome scene. After that, it kind of felt a little forced, like what Curtis was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Boba Fett, when you're his enemy, he don't care. He don't care about your feelings at all. But but those in his life he does care about. He cares about them completely. That's what I've learned about the Boba Fett character from the EU and from wherever else. Yeah, that table toss did look great.
Yeah.
She's a smart ass, and she got shown. I kind of liked it. I don't know if you noticed, but Bo-Katan kind of improved a little. Look at her face.
Yeah, that whole interaction was pretty cool. You know, you're not a real Mandalorian.
And Boba Fett's never claimed to be. Yeah, they obviously got feelings about each other. Not great ones, probably, but hey, it's there.
Yeah, I could see how. I mean, since it was his voice that she had heard 1,000 times.
Yeah, because all the clones, same voice.
Yep. Exactly. Speaking of clones, well, I don't know. Should we get into spoilers at this point?
Sure.
Oh, okay. So when you saw the X-Wing flying in, did you know who it was?
Instantly.
Same.
Instantly. Yep, I knew it. I could feel it. It was the only play. It was the only play because if it would have been the other guys, we would have seen 2 X-Wings pulling in.
Yep.
But yeah.
I loved Cara Dune's expression too. She's like, "There's a single X-Wing coming in. I guess we're saved."
Well, I don't think she got along real great with X-Wing pilots. What do you think?
Didn't seem like it.
I mean, she grudgingly accepted a Marshal badge from the pilot in that one episode.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, again, I only have nitpicks about that appearance. I think there's probably a little bit more lightsaber wielding than I would have expected from a Jedi. I mean, it's a very prequel trilogy in its execution. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more Force powers. And he did use the Force in some ways.
They did. You know, when it comes to, spoiler alert, when it comes to the Luke reveal, I cried. Then I got angry.
I think that was a lot of people's reactions.
Then I got angry. Yeah. Had strong feelings about it, but I'm still haven't really sorted that out yet. And I understand there's a lot of people that are out there that are arguing over it and all that stuff. You know, it's not really all that important to argue over small things, you know. But and some may think it's big and all that, but when it comes to human life and good energy and all that stuff, that compared to other things makes everything else look small. Everything else that everybody is going through makes this look small. And being able to see it that way and look at it and find a positive way out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah. Hey, you owe me a Coke.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna have the balls to do it, but they not only did they do it, but they gave him. I think they gave a little bit of an FU to the sequel trilogy. I mean, you've probably seen the memes, but he says, "Talent without training is meaningless."
Yeah, it's definitely a burn. It's definitely a burn. Oh yeah.
Like take that, Mary Sue Ray.
We'll be seeing that meme pop up everywhere. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that flamethrower, the flamethrower. That was from the angle they showed it. It was just weird. And maybe they were just trying to save money with effects because you can use flame with no one there, and you got a bunch of flame, and all of a sudden cut, and then you mix it in. Okay, yeah, maybe, who knows?
Yeah. So Curtis says, "I teared up upon reveal, but he was loving the action. I knew it was him as soon as I saw the glove."
Yep. Yeah. As soon as I seen the X-wing, I'm like, "Yep, gotta be. It's gotta be."
Yeah. I did think it was him, but I thought they were going to fake us out. Until again, the glove and the lightsaber. And I was like, oh. And I mean, I've heard some nitpicks about the CGI face, Mark Hamill face. It seemed like it was good CGI to me. I didn't really notice anything except for when he was talking. The lips didn't seem to quite sync up. But
as far as CGI, it wasn't all that bad. I've seen worse.
I think Tarkin was worse, honestly.
Yeah, Tarkin wasn't. That could have been done a lot better.
Yeah, and Carrie Fisher, the what they did with her in Rise of Skywalker was not nearly as good as this. This, it was convincing, and then it sounded like Luke. I mean, this was Return of the Jedi Luke.
It did. Yeah, the face was a bit funny. Not too bad. Not bad. And I've seen worse.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Parrothead says it's funny how the fandom is divided on Mando. So what do you think about that, Bear?
Yeah. People are going to be the way they're going to be. They're going to act according to their nature. Yeah. I really don't have an opinion on it, because Disney did a really fucked up thing, and it's fucked up, and it's why sometimes I have really mixed feelings about Mando, but I'm not gonna let that get in the way of whatever I'm gonna do to have fun with it, and because if we're not gonna like it, we're gonna make fun of it a little bit, and all in good fun, nothing wrong with that. I think friends that are friends and friends that are like family should remember that. That's what is the most important. Brotherhood, sisterhood, community. That's what's the most important. Everything else is bullshit.
Yeah. I agree. I think if the sequel trilogy had never existed and this was the only Star Wars we would have gotten, oh man, it would be 3 times the success it is right now, at least. I think that Disney would be winning the streaming wars right now with something like this. But see, the thing is, I can't, even though I'm enjoying The Mandalorian and it's everything that I wanted, I can't watch it without thinking of how pissed off I am about the sequel trilogy. I don't know if you have those feelings.
I've same, man. I'm right with you. Conflicted. Definitely conflicted sometimes.
They need to put Favreau in charge of Lucasfilm.
Yeah, who's the head of Disney right now? Since Iger stepped down, or is Iger still running shit?
I think Iger's still kind of running shit from behind the scenes, but it's Bob Chapek, I thought.
Yeah. It's kind of felt like he'd been kind of micromanaging stuff.
Yep. Well, hell yeah! Put Favreau in charge of Disney Studios. Fuck yeah. But Favreau. He's already shown that he understands the MCU and that he understands any property that he takes on. So he's a hot property. They need to promote. I mean, if he wants it, he should have Kathleen Kennedy's position. Or they should divide it up. Well, I guess kind of the way Paramount and CBS All Access did and said, movies over here, streaming over here, and not let her touch it at all.
Exactly. It's like, you are not welcome here.
Yeah. Well, don't serve your kind here. Get outside.
Yeah, get out. So yeah, there was some, and when it comes to TV shows that are hit or miss and stuff like that, there may be one or two things I like about it, and maybe nothing. It all depends. I mean, it was like some of the stuff in the Mirror Universe Discovery episode was okay. Yeah. There were some interesting visuals, but other than that, it's just a crap shit show. But there were some cool looking things in it. The ships looked cool and stuff like that, and other than that, but that doesn't make for good TV.
Well, I had some questions about their Mirror Universe Excursion. I know it's supposed to be in the past, but I don't know why it took place on the Discovery. That seemed a little weird to me. I don't know why Stamets was there when Stamets was supposed to be the one working on her ship.
Right. Yeah, that didn't click.
And then she killed Stamets, but he was the one that made her ship with the funky spore core drive thing. So I was confused by it.
Yeah, that's they never really did go into a lot of the science behind that spore core drive.
You know, again, when they first introduced it in season 1 of Discovery, I thought it was an interesting concept because they said he was an astromycologist. I'm like, okay, there's a astrological phenomenon that's very similar to mushrooms. I could see why he would be an eccentric genius. And then with the Klingon war arc, I was like, okay, this is a black ops ship, so no one would know about it anyway.
Right.
And then they completely fucked that up.
Yeah, they
like it is indeed a magic mushroom drive, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, bunch of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've heard from some people that are Mandalorian critics that they say the show is basically, that the fandom, they shouldn't cut Disney slack for Mandalorian because it's
I've heard that.
Yeah, because it's like battered wife syndrome or something. And I'm like, they're doing something right. I'm enjoying it for what it is. Now I'm enjoying it less than I would have had there never been a sequel trilogy. Unfortunately, right. That sucks because it seems like they're really trying and it really feels like Star Wars. I mean, I can see their point of view. I understand it.
Yeah, me too.
I really do, because I really would be enjoying The Mandalorian a lot more if it didn't exist. But I mean, the bottom line is that I am enjoying it, and they are giving me what I wanted out of Star Wars. So I'm just going to take the ride. Curtis says there is no sequel trilogy for me yet. Yeah, lucky you. It's available on the high seas, I believe. Don't quote me on that, though. I think you're muted, Bear. Are you talking? Bear, you're muted, Bear. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Oh.
Something funky going on.
Makes it hard to communicate. So R says the sequel trilogy ruined. Okay. So R says the sequel trilogy ruined Star Wars for me. Yeah, it really did for me too, in a lot of ways. I think that Picard definitely, because TNG used to be my favorite Star Trek, and Picard used to be my favorite captain. And after Picard came out, TOS has moved above, and Kirk has moved above. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that was weird because my my N-Track studio, I forgot that it was open. Every now and then, it doesn't like to share the mic. Out of the blue, now and then it'll do it. And I forgot that it was open, and I was trying to close the damn thing, and it disconnected my mic from the window in the yard.
Whoops. Yeah, I've had weird stuff like that happen.
Yeah, because I couldn't hear you. Could disconnected my mic and my headset because it's all connected to the same thing. And I had to refresh to get it back and close out that program. It's funny.
Yeah, it happens when I have StreamYard open and I have Streamlabs open. It'll do that.
Yeah. Doesn't like to share devices sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, but Kathleen, what are they talking about extending Kathleen Kennedy's contract? And that bitch should be fired, running out to her car, tears streaming down her face, her mascara running. Pack up your shit and get out, Kathy. Run into her Bentley. No. And get fired just the way anybody else does when they fuck something up that bad.
Let's see here. I watched the first Mandalorian on Seashells and had no interest after Baby MacGuffin showed up.
So that's another polarizing thing. And I actually am not a big fan of Baby Yoda myself. But yeah. So spoiler alert here: Baby Yoda, Grogu goes off with Luke Skywalker. That
kind of seems like a canon change because it was never talked about in Return of the Jedi, and it was never talked about in books that were associated with Return of the Jedi, and it wasn't talked about in the books that came after Return of the Jedi. And until we got the prequels at that point, that's all we had at that point. And then we got, the sequels. Yeah. Bunch of crap that it was. Just shit. Crap.
Yeah, sequel trilogy makes the prequels look like Shakespeare.
And I like the prequels. I like the originals. There's a little bit of something I liked in everything. And I think Jar Jar Binks being a Sith, I that would have explained some things. All the stuff that he does and all that, and all these weird things he does, and this miraculous luck he got. Definitely one of those things that was definitely unexplained.
You saying he's slow playing the galaxy?
I'm saying Jar Jar was either a Dark Force user or a Sith.
Jar Jar was the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Why
Okay.
was they never revealed the Phantom Menace? Because they show us the one guy. They show us Palpatine as the Emperor before he becomes the Emperor. They show us Darth Sidious, and they show us Darth Maul, but that they weren't the Phantom, because the Phantom Menace, it's elusive. A phantom is elusive. You can't really see it. It's something you see out of the corners of your eyes and stuff like that. You never really see it.
Dude, I'd love to see them explore that concept, because Jar Jar would probably still be alive in Mandalorian times. That would be an interesting exploration. I wonder if the guy that played him wants to come back and do it.
Would definitely be a interesting twist.
Yeah.
And then it would show him talking normally. He's like, yeah, that was just an act to lull you into a safe, false sense of safety, to make you trust me.
I like it. Curtis says, I'd be so down to see it. Yeah, me too.
But yeah, there's all the stuff that Jar Jar does is just kind of a quinky dink, that all this stuff happening. And
when he's there,
yeah, all the weird stuff that happens and all that. How does he end up? The guy can jump.
Yeah, he was wow, yeah, he was close to Padme and her assassination.
Yeah.
Then he was the one that voted the Emperor, the Chancellor, as emergency powers, and
we got cognac.
He was there. He was there when they found Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, it's really adding up. So here's an interesting theory that I thought of for them undoing the sequel trilogy. And that, what if titty drinking Luke is actually a clone, and the real Luke Skywalker, we never saw him in the sequel trilogy?
That would be acceptable.
Yeah. Because I feel like with the whole clone story arc, that's kind of what they're laying the groundwork for.
Because there was a clone Skywalker.
Yeah.
Who didn't wasn't it that he didn't know that he was a clone?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Salute.
I'll have water. I had whiskey last night. I'm trying to take it easy today.
Ooh, good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if they were to write that, basically do a little a test skit and show Jar Jar speaking normally, wearing his Sith accoutrement, and talking in a very serious, deadly, evil-sounding voice with the red-orange glowing eyes.
Yeah, have him, force lightning some people.
Yeah.
Have him force lightning some Ewoks. Have him torch like a whole battalion of Ewoks. That'd be great.
And him saying, "You thought I was just this silly little guy. Little did you know."
Yeah. At last I can reveal myself. At last I can have revenge.
Good night, Keck.
Good night, Keck.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. I guess they had Luke, Luuke, cloned from Luke's severed hand.
Yeah, there's that. Going back to the end credit at Jabba's palace.
Was that the same actor that played that guy in Return of the Jedi? The guy Boba takes out?
Let me look. Let's see. I can play that here real quick. Let's see. Season 2. They've already got season 3 listed on IMDb.
Yeah,
All
be
right,
interesting to
the
see where they're
rescue.
going to. So it sounds like season 3 is going to be all about the Darksaber.
What's the name of his character?
Oh, I don't know. Let me see.
Bib Fortuna, I think that was his name. Bib Fortuna. Matthew Wood. I'm going to click on Bib Fortuna. Yeah, I'm not seeing other actors listed under the Bib Fortuna name, but I'll go back and I'll look at the actor itself. Let's see here. Matthew Wood is his name. And let's see. I'm scrolling. Let's see. Let's go down to 83. Yes,
That was the same guy?
I think so.
Whoa,
Let me make
dude,
sure.
that's
Let
pretty
me
cool.
make sure I got the right category open. Sound department. We want to close that. He's in the sound department too. Interesting. Let's see. Actor. The Mandalorian, Bib Fortuna. He's also Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. A new game coming out, I believe. Let's go down to. He doesn't have anything past 1999.
Jabba's Palace.
Let me open the sound department again. But he does have a credit for sound department, and he's got a credit for Return of the Jedi, The Empire Strikes Back, and The New Hope. This guy's a sound man.
Is he?
And an actor. He's got 52 acting credits. He's got 108 sound department credits. He's going to be in WandaVision for doing sound. But on the actor part, he is not listed.
Bib Fortuna. Let me see.
His acting career only goes back to 99.
Really? He was a Twi'lek? Doesn't look like a Twi'lek. Bib Fortuna.
So yeah, this from what I can see, this is probably not the original guy. Although he sound wise, he's worked on all of it. Matthew Wood, sound wise, he's worked on a lot of it. I don't know why he's got a sound credit when he was born in 72. That's weird. How can he have a sound credit on the Return of the Jedi? That doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, I'm looking on Wikipedia and I'm not seeing the credit, who the actor is that's credited. In Return of the Jedi, Bib Fortuna was played by Michael Carter.
Yeah, so different actor that plays Bib Fortuna in Mandalorian.
Wow, that really looked like him.
It did.
And it sounded like him.
It did. It did. I'm kind of wondering about the sound credit, though. That's just weird.
Yeah.
Verdens. I thought so.
Oh, did he?
He was on the barge that exploded. And basically, they're saying he basically survived.
Maybe it was Bob Fortuna.
It's his brother, Bob.
Yep, Bob took over.
Bob took over.
Yeah, lots of actors have. I think the original voice actor of Bib Fortuna also passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. 43 years ago.
All right. Let's have us a little musical
All right.
break and get your drinks ready. And here we go.
Deep dark world in centuries of lore. All the mysteries tracking down the lore. Fire goddess breathing, spilling in the streets. In living history.
Hey, Nancy.
Don't be a parakeet, a pigeon, trying to be a messenger. Trying to be a messenger. Right. In clouds of misty mountains, gathering in the gloom, dawn will break. Was it pursuit of obscurity? Maybe a masquerade party. Empty towns filled with
Clouds.
this masquerade costume party. Deep dark world in centuries of lore. All the mystery track down the lore. Fire goddess breathing within the streets. In living history. Don't be a parakeet, pretending to be a pigeon. Trying to be a messenger. Clouds of misty mountains. Gathering in the gloom, the dawn will break. Was it presumed obscurity? Maybe a masquerade party. Empty town filled with clowns. In this masquerade costume party. Deep dark world in centuries of lore. All the mysteries tracking down the lore. Fire goddess breathing, filling in the streets. In living history. Don't be a parakeet pretending to be a pigeon. To be a messenger. Misty mountains, gathering in the gloom. Break. Was it presumed obscurity? Maybe a masquerade party. Towns filled with crowds in this masquerade party.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, a little bit of break up the tedium there.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing like some good sounds and some good vibrations.
For sure.
How you doing, Nance? Good to see you too.
Hey,
Where
Nancy.
you been? What you been doing?
So I posted something in one of our chats, a screenshot that I got from somewhere else. And let's see how to phrase this. So the elephant had been communicating to the donkey. And the donkey is trying to get into a barn he doesn't belong in. And the elephant is no longer communicating to the donkey crucial information, allegedly because 30 minutes after the information was communicated from the elephant to the donkey, it showed up in the Far East. Any
Oh,
thoughts on that?
is the sounds like something that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Sounds like someone's security wasn't good enough. They better update their Kaspersky or whatever antivirus they're using.
Well, I thought something more nefarious was happening, and that maybe we'll call the donkey Eeyore. Maybe Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh are thick as thieves. I think thick as thieves is an appropriate terminology for it. And Eeyore's talking to Winnie the Pooh.
Interesting.
Yes, I thought it was most interesting.
Nancy says, been causing havoc, laughing out loud. No, not really. Have a new indie project been working on, which has been awesome. Yeah, I got some new songs out there that are done. I got to get 2 videos made for those 2 songs, because there's 32 in the playlist now. Yeah. But yeah, there's this thing called a Constitution. There's a thing called the Bill of Rights. And they legally have to pass an amendment. If they want to force you to take a vaccine, they have to vote on that law. Otherwise, if they just say willy-nilly, oh, you can now fire people, that's a mandate. That's not a law. It goes against the Constitution. If you want to talk strictly Constitution stuff and like that, Bill of Rights, they can't force you to get a vaccination, because I've seen some things about clearing the way for people to be forced to get a vax, or their boss can fire them now. Martial law hasn't been enacted. The Constitution, last I checked, it wasn't suspended. And fear porn. That's all it is. They want to scare people. And
they
take
seem
that
to
power away from them.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, they've succeeded with many, and you just got to have that core of values, and the Constitution lays out our core of values as a nation, and it's a reminder. Hey, these are your rights.
Yep.
You can't do that.
You got your Bill of Rights, and you got the Constitution, and you got all that blood that was spilt to make that happen.
Yep.
As it is to history in the Revolutionary War and the founding of the United States, just in case anyone out there in YouTube land is listening to what I'm saying. But yeah, it's basic stuff they used to teach us back in elementary school and middle school. Social studies, back when they used to teach all that stuff, Even then, they weren't always teaching all the history. You always had to go looking.
Oh, yeah. They give you the Cliff's Notes version for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Nancy says, what about traveling and getting the jab? So they're going to put a ban on flying in airplanes unless you get the jab.
They can't do that. It goes against human rights. You look at the Geneva Convention after World War II, after all the death camps in Germany. Because of those conventions and those rules around the world, that goes against human rights, standard human rights. They can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of people in my neck of the woods that are the state's trying to clamp down and enforce this shutdown, and they're threatening to yank licenses. And God bless them, the people around here are just like, I'll just operate without a license because you're going to put me out of business one way or the other. So I'm going to go down swinging.
There's a lot of that here in Washington. There's a few different restaurants. There's a restaurant in Olympia that's staying open in defiance of Lord Fuhrer Inslee.
Yeah. Well, you're starting to see a lot of the states stand up, and if this if this continues to go on, It's going to be like Atlas Shrugging. They're just going to say, this is illegitimate. This is not under the Constitution.
The dog is going to wag them.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be just like you have no power, and we're going to operate under the Constitution, and we're going to hold elections, and we're just going to start over.
Here's the thing. These people are such geniuses that they forgot to read the goddamn fine print on the box the masks come in. All right? We're talking about a microscopic organism that can pass through a freaking mask. It's a fine print. It's common knowledge.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. The only thing that it does is it keeps your spray spittle if you happen to sneeze with the mask on, and keeps that contained. Common sense shit, man. I don't understand why people don't understand common sense stuff. It's basic. And the flu season this year didn't come early. It did last year, but we know what that was.
Yeah.
Everybody had it. We know that.
A lot of people had it. Yeah, I think I had it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nasty bug, no doubt about it, but
I mean, basically, if you go by the CDC's own numbers, it's only killing 1%. So 99% survivable.
Yeah, they're the equivalent of when Gerald Ford, after Nixon took us off the gold standard, was handing out whip inflation now pins to everyone. That's what a mask is. It's just a placebo. I mean, it's more than that. It's more than that because it's, they want to test compliance and that kind of garbage. But
and here's the other thing. Has anybody seen any actual real science? The correct answer is no. They haven't shown us any actual science. Any science that we can look at and any mathematician or scientist could look at and say, okay, there's this, there's that. They haven't done that.
Well, it's very selective science, if you'll notice. Because as with anything, there's usually debate and a viewpoint here.
And the test that they bent over backwards to get it out everywhere? The guy who invented the test, he came out and said that it wasn't meant to be used that way. He came out and said that that test is not meant to be used like that.
I hadn't seen that, but it doesn't surprise me.
No, he was tweeting it on Twitter. He was talking on Twitter about it.
Oh, I'm surprised they haven't banned him.
Well, he's a scientist, man.
Well, they've been banning.
He was a blue check.
Well,
it was said in such a way that it was, critical thinking.
Well, I mean, they've been banning doctors left and right. They've been banning anybody that
who knows?
That goes against.
Maybe he did. Hard to say.
Yeah.
But there was a Pfizer scientist that said it was insane to create a vaccine for something that's 99% survivable. And that's one of their own scientists that used to work for them.
Well, there's all kinds of disturbing things about this jab. Like that chick, the nurse that got jabbed on TV passed out.
Oh, you talking about the one from Alaska?
Well, I don't know where she was from.
She was on TV news clip, and she started grabbing her forehead, and her forehead started hurting, and then she just passed out.
Yeah.
17 minutes after she was jabbed.
Yes. It's a little disturbing.
It's interesting that it was 17 minutes after. Yeah.
That is interesting.
I do believe that we are living in the days of AI. I do believe. Definitely. I think everything is being pushed and pulled with AI. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I had the thought it just disappeared on me. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So supposedly they're testing people. They call it false positives, that after people are getting the jab,
Yeah,
that people are coming up with false positives for, HIV, which seems really strange because I thought those two diseases were very different from one another. And I also don't know why they would be testing for that after someone gets a jab with the vaccine.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. The common cold is in the coronavirus family.
Yes.
And I do believe the flu is also considered in the coronavirus family. I might be wrong, but I know the cold is. But the flu is in the coronavirus family, I do believe, I think. And so the cold, these tests have been, you've been getting false positives.
R says the test is a fraud. There.
Look at that one. I've heard that too.
Well, that's what I was getting at, RR. That's what I was getting at. That would, I don't understand. Well, I mean, that's pretty dark. That's pretty dark shit if that's what's going on. Wow.
Yeah, I've also heard that. And this here, they're not hiding it. They're not hiding it at all. Not a bit. They're rather open about this. And our MR5 and fetal T cell tissues are also in the vax. And if you ask that question, and then in a scientific way, you can refuse because it's scientifically sound that you don't want foreign RNA in your body. And if you know what the ingredients are, and if you ask the doctor, they have to answer you. They got to tell you the truth. They can't lie to you.
Man.
And I've got a placard that tells you how to ask it.
You see that? Yeah, it is dark. It's very dark. We'll see. Then this. I mean, there are rumors that was created in a lab. So make of it what you will, I guess. I don't know. False positives. I don't know.
Yeah, the false positives, the common cold causes a lot of the false positives. And the guy who invented that is, and it's the fast test that gets you the fast results. He's saying that it wasn't meant to be used that way.
Well, I mean the false positives for the HIV. That's what I'm talking about. I'm saying I guess.
That's fucking scary.
I mean, are they really false positives?
So basically, they want to give millions of people AIDS.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. We already know where Bill Gates stands on these types of things.
He's not welcome in a lot of places around the world.
Oh, India won't have him.
Africa, India, and I believe Haiti. He's not welcome there. I do believe. And, these guys, they're breaking all these Geneva Conventions. They're totally breaking them. World War II was fought to establish some of those Geneva Convention rules in World War I. In World War II, we added to the Geneva Convention rules. Rules don't mean shit when you don't follow them and when people are allowed to break them.
Well,
And
I mean, look who's running the world right now.
Yeah, double standard. Good for you, not good for me. And then if you do this, you get a free pass. You do this, you get punished. Yeah. Sleaze. Utter sleaze. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what this fact check says. You can sometimes find some truth in this, but they're trying to debunk it.
They use that sliver, and that sliver, you can peel it apart a little bit, and then so, okay, that's just a small detail.
Yep.
Indeed. Madness, I say. Madness.
Yeah. I feel like this is the part of Ghostbusters where Ray and Stance are talking in the the Ecto-1 going across the bridge. The dead are rising from the grave, and then they crank up the radio. I feel like this is crank up the radio time.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Scary shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of why I've been where I've been at, Putting a little good back out there to balance the bad. Speaking of good.
Let's do it.
Let's give that a play. Dark winter, no more calling on the gods of old. Stand in the white light, all in the night. Ready, right, I hear the sound. Call to ride forth. Bring the wind, feel that? Bring the light. Yep. Call the wind, call in the wind. Feel the wind, wandering around the world. Around the world, dark of day, night like today. Shine on the land and the trees, if you please. A lot of those visuals I created. Four corners where the wind dwell, in the dark of day, night to day, cast on the wind, let the sun shine. Feel the wind, you hear who's calling, the wind finder. Call the elemental, bring the green of the earth, dark winter no more. Calling of the gods of old. Dark winter no more. In the white light. Call in the nights, be ready to ride. I hear the sound. Call to ride. Come forth. Bring wind. Yeah, Dance, you know what that song does. Call the wind, call in the wind, feel the wind wandering around the world. Dark of day, night to day, shine on the wind in the trees, if you please. Four corners where the wind dwells, dark of day, night to day, cast on the wind, let the sun shine. Feel the wind, do you hear who is calling? The wind finder, call the elemental, bring the green of the earth. Dark winter, no more. Dark winter, no more. Calling on the gods of old. Stand in the white light. Stand in the white light. Call the night, ready to ride. The horn's been sounded. Call forth, bring the wind, bring the light.
Dark winter, no more.
Hey. All right. Now, on a lot of those in the transitions, the ravens you've seen flying, I literally took in-flight Raven, and my phone has some functions that's very similar to Photoshop. And I lasso out the Raven, and I ran it through a cartoon app, lassoed it out, ran it through the neon filter to make it look kind of crimson and blackish and kind of purplish all through it. And then I added all that into the particles, and it shows them flying, and that's why it looks so realistic. Yeah. But yeah, it's and then this shows the eagle flying. Those are all different particles, and I'm gonna find me a good picture of an eagle in flight, and I'll do the same thing with it. Create some eagles flying particles. So yeah, so what'd you have to drink last night? You had some whiskey?
Yeah, I had a little bit of Crown Royal. I like Crown. It's nice and smooth.
Man, it's been years since I had any Crown Royal. I was a teenager last time I had Crown Royal.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You know, occasionally I'll spend a little bit more for some Crown, and you know, it's usually on sale this time of year.
Yummy stuff, if you can see it.
Yep.
Salute.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We should probably play the 2 new songs for Nance. She hasn't heard those.
Sure.
Let's see here. Click the sound, the share audio. All right. Okay. I think one back click. Everyone hear that?
I'm the Court Jester, just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you. Just wanna be free in thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it all turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end, and I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you walk through the darkness before you see the light. I'm just a Court Jester, fire from the north.
Got a headset, crank it up.
Day late in a south shore. I'm the Court Jester, just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you. Just wanna be free and thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it all turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end, and I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light.
I'm not scared of the dark.
I'm just a Court Jester, fire from the North Star, a day late in a dollar short. I'm a Court Jester, just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you, just wanna be free in thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end, and I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. I'm just a court jester, fired from the North Star, a day late in a dollar store. I'm just a court jester, just looking for a lad.
Oh yeah. Now, on that song, those are absolutely pure raw vocals. There's nothing added to it. Nothing. And that's called The Court Jester. And kind of the way I look at it is, honestly, Kurt Russell calling himself the Court Jester had a little bit of influence on that song, a little bit, I'd say. But yeah, that song's called The Court Jester. And I like to think of myself like the Court Jester because I like to have fun. I like to laugh, I like to have some jokes, not be too serious about nothing. And every now and then, if people don't like good old-fashioned fun, having fun, and chuckles and giggles, well, you can fuck off. I like fun.
Fun's good.
Don't be stepping on my fun. Yes, and the next one is Dancing in the Moonlight.
Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop, jump around, let's have some fun.
There's a song there somewhere.
It's so tapping down. I told the boys, wow, what they said. She sure can boogie. Dancing in the moonlight. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby sure can dance and boogie. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop around, jump around. Let's have some fun. It's the rockiest show, tap sound I told the boys. Wow, what they said. She sure can boogie. Dancing in the moonlight. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby sure can boogie. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop, jump around, let's have some fun. It's the rockiest show downtown. I told the boys. Wow, that's what they said. She sure can boogie.
She sure can.
Dancing in the moonlight. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby sure can boogie. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop, jump around. Let's have some fun. It's the rockiest show downtown. I told boys. Wow, what they said. She sure can boogie. Dancing in the moonlight. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby sure can boogie. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Hop, jump around, let's have some fun. It's the rockiest show, tap sound I told boys, wow, what they said. She sure can boogie.
She sure can.
Dancing in the moonlight. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie on the dance floor. Baby sure can boogie. Hey baby, what you doing tonight? Time to get the boogie out on the dance floor. Woo.
Hard to dance while you're sitting down.
It is. It is. If you remember correctly, Star Trek. Oh,
First Contact.
First Contact. Yeah. Remember the song, the jukebox?
Yeah. Uba dooba. Dun.
Well,
Yeah.
very similar style of rock and roll.
Yeah. It has that ooby dooby kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Ooba dooba.
It comes from that genre of big band rock and roll sound.
What do they call that? Bebop? Is it bebop?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah. And I haven't made videos for those yet. They are labeled though on when they appear on these live streams, the names of them. You can see the info in there. But yeah, the Court Jester was born yesterday between 9 and 10. And yes, every now and then something, if it sounded funny and I tweeted it, more than likely you're probably going to hear a sentence or two here and there in a song. Because I find the inspiration from the funniest places.
Yeah, you never know when it's going to strike.
Yeah. Because the a day late and dollar short, that was in the tweet. I'm like, hey, that's that. I gotta add that in there. Like, yeah, it sounds good. Yeah. So yeah, the different situations they end up in song.
For sure.
Yeah.
What is that? Boogie Rock? Is it Boogie Rock? No, it's not Boogie Rock, is it?
The dancing
Boogie Rock's more of like Leonard Skinner, right?
It depends. A lot of stuff could be considered boogie. Get down, boogie, get on the dance floor, hop, jump, and dance around.
Yeah.
I can do all of that. Yeah. That jump down, spin around, jump back up, and pop back down, do the spin again, then reverse. Well, I can do all that.
I can't do any of it. I'm a terrible dancer.
I can do it with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
You should see people on the dance floor when you got your eyes closed, you're dancing around them. And if they're not used to that, it really unnerves people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm usually too focused on what a horrible dancer I am to pay attention to anybody else. I'm like left foot, right foot.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, let's see here. All right. So yeah, the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. I've been keeping an eye out on the weather, and I'm looking for times here in Washington State when I can look at it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the fact that those two things, and I guess it's going to be a few hundred years or so before it happens again in the way that it's happening.
Yeah, they have a very long orbit.
Let's see here. They're like going to be really close to each other. Wonder what kind of magnetism that's causing.
Yeah, wow.
I could have swore I saw something. Yeah, they're going to be within 0.1 degrees of each other. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I don't think those are planets you can usually see with the naked eye, are they?
They look bright. You need a really good telescope to see them, but you can normally see them.
Yeah, I know
the sky.
Yeah, I know Venus you can really see, especially in the summertime.
Yeah, because normally in the summertime you can see Mercury pretty good. You can see Venus. You can see Mars, and right around Right around 12, 1 in the morning. Venus is still right about in the Western Hemisphere where I'm at, and Venus will be right around between 1 and 2. Mercury will be going on the horizon. Then you'll be able to see Venus, Mars, and the rest of the planets in the string.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't remember. There was a total solar eclipse when I was in junior high school, 1991. That was pretty cool. I guess that doesn't happen very often.
Total solar eclipse? No, and there was one that happened in 2017. It was weird, man.
Oh,
Everything looked gold. It's like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, that wasn't a total. That was a partial, I think, still. But yeah, 1991. I remember I was in summer school. It was between junior high school and high school. And dude, it got dark as night. It was the weirdest thing.
I was talking summertime.
Yeah.
Nancy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it got dark as night. The stars came out, and it was weird because it was still warm, like it was it was the middle of the day.
Right.
And then it just slowly started to light up again. I mean, it's interesting that the moon almost kind of like perfectly, even though they're very far apart from each other, but the moon just perfectly covers it. And, there's a lot of stuff about the moon. It's supposed to be hollow, allegedly.
Yeah, I remember that day in 2017. It was just weird, and everything looked gold. It was very bizarre. And all humans reacting the same way the bodies of the water on the planet react to the moon and the planets. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to react a similar way. You got tides in the blood. If you got tides in the ocean, you got to have a tide in your blood. You think about that for a minute.
Interesting. Let's see, what phase of the moon are we in right now?
Should be new moon, or just coming out of new moon.
Yeah, I thought so.
I seen the other night. I seen the fine little gold sliver as it was just going into the new moon. And I seen in the window. I called my son over here and go, look at that. That's cool, huh?
Yeah, waxing crescent. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're just now starting to get it.
It was a teeny thing. It was barely there. I almost didn't notice it.
Yep. But I'll tell you, man, after living out in the country, I could see how.
Hey, Nance, dark of the moon is the new moon. Just so you know.
Yeah. When I lived out in the country, I could see how phases of the moon used to be really important before electricity. Or if you were, traveling across the country in wagon trains and stuff, because dude, that makes a huge difference when you're out in the country without any street lights.
Oh yeah. That moon is your light. You can travel by night if you're careful.
Oh yeah.
The biggest problem with wagons, and especially on horseback, step in a hole, night, horse falling on you, end your day real bad.
Oh yeah. Or your night, yeah.
Yeah, day or night.
Yeah, but I really got a huge appreciation for it. I used to live in the middle of these almond orchards, and the way the moonlight hit those. I lived off of the river, right, and in the middle of these almond orchards, and dude, there's when it was a full moon, there's this spiritual energy that would happen out there. It's tough to describe. It was very cool, like nature was in harmony or something. And, nobody believes me when I tell this story, and I wish I would have gotten it on camera. But there was a clearing in the orchards, right? This little square where they hadn't planted any trees. And during a full moon, all the animals would get there and moon bathe and just chill out. Foxes, coyotes, deers, owls, hawks. They would all come to this clearing and they would just chill out. Possums, they would all, predator and prey alike, would just chill out there in this clearing. It was the weirdest thing.
I believe it. Absolutely. And here's the thing. You didn't hear that hawk cry out, did you?
I don't think I did.
No, because a hawk crying in the middle of the night, bad omen. No, they don't make noise at night, man. And when you hear a hawk screech at night, that's bad juju. And be on the lookout. Get the hell out of wherever you're at, because that means something not good happening.
I think there was one occasion where I heard a hawk making a noise, but it was humping another hawk. So at night, so I figured
that's a little
leave
different.
them alone. Yeah, it's a little different.
It's a little different. Hawk flying in the sky, screeching. That's
no. These two were having a good time. These two were having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to moonbathe too. I used to go out, hang out in the moonlight myself every full moon.
Dude, I used to love taking those strolls through the orchards in the moonlight. That was great. Mm-hmm. It was so peaceful and calming. Like, I don't think I felt a peacefulness like that ever in my life. And I was close to the river, so you could hear the river. And dude, it's funny when you're out in nature, because when you live out in the country and there's nature, because you all kind of peacefully coexist. It's very neat.
It is. I've lived out in the middle of nowhere a few different times in different parts of Washington State. Beautiful.
So that's another great thing about living in the country too, and being out in the middle of those almond or walnut orchards, was that we would get a lot of the wood, and that wood's great wood for burning. And we used to smoke the bark.
Walnut wood's good for burning? Really?
Yeah, it's very dense.
Wow.
Nut woods are very dense.
Sort of like oak.
Oh, go ahead.
Do they burn hot like an oak?
They burn long because they're so dense. It's very consistent.
Wow.
And I used to get this grass-fed tri-tip, and you would barely even need to season that thing. And you just, let the coals die down from the walnut, and then put some of the walnut bark on top of it and smoke it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, man, it was so good. You barely needed to season it. It was just so tasty.
Well, did you know that the majority of native ceremonies was illegal until 1994?
I did not know that.
Yep. Because on my birthday in 1994, one of my mentors testified in Congress for the 1994 Native American Freedom of Religion Act. It gave them the right to do their ceremonies, but it did not give them the right to do the ghost dance. The ghost dance is still illegal, as far as I know.
Oh, what is it in? Oh, I guess we can't talk about it, but that's unfortunate. I mean, we have a First Amendment.
Well, it's means that it was mentioned in the Native American Freedom of Religion Act. I can talk about that a little bit. But other than that, it was illegal. Ceremony was illegal. Unbelievable,
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be because of the First Amendment, but
yeah, that's complicated.
Yep.
Very complicated.
Yeah. So RR says our lack of watching the stars today is depriving us of our connection to the universe.
Yeah, I could agree with that. That's why sometimes I go outside when I go outside in the middle of the night, because if there's a cloud clearing, I'm going out to have a cigarette. And I'm going to watch the stars, watch the sky.
Yeah.
And because out here where I'm at, there's not really a lot of city light. It's not too bright from city light. And it's just dim enough to where when the stars come out, it looks halfway decent. Now, I can go out to my buddy's house, Steamboat Island, man, and my God, beautiful starry skies out there. Or the Bald Hills, south of Yelm. Beautiful, nice skies and mountains surrounding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I miss about the country is all the stars out there. Tons of stars.
Because that's why I'm in Washington State. I'm here for the nature and for the naturalness and the good energy.
Yeah.
The other people that are here just happen to be here, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of, when it comes to stuff like that, I treat it like flies. I ignore it.
It's probably a good way to be. Yeah. See, I mean, that town that I lived in the country, there was only like 220 people there, and you had a barber shop,
Small
and
town.
you had a bar, but they had like a paintball place, and that's like what was driving the economy. But dude, that was pretty cool. You know, they had parades in this little small town. You just go out and pop up a chair and watch these.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Absolutely. You know, these chairs and watch these huge parades in this tiny little town. And you could walk to the bar, you know, and they would have these, you know, these Harley groups that would go through and they'd do their motorcycle tour along the river and bar hop. It was way cool. I really liked living out there. Internet.
Yeah, I agree with RR right there. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's First Amendment. That's your right.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's very complicated, and there's a lot of strong feelings behind that, big time.
Yeah.
It took me a number of years to come to terms with my emotions in that area.
Well, yeah. I mean, the government has way overreached on religion in a big way, because all the First Amendment says really is that there shall be no establishment of religion. That means we don't create like a Catholic church, or we don't have an Anglican church. That's it. And don't, you know, prohibit the exercise thereof. And so, you know, if you want to have like 10 wives, have at it, man. If you want to, you know, the Santorians, they cracked down on the Santorians, and they had to, I think, go to the Supreme Court for the Santorians to be able to do their ritual, what they do with chickens.
Oh, you're talking about Santeria?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't say
my I believe my Aunt Carmen, she practiced a form of Santeria, the white light version. Yeah. But she didn't do the chicken stuff. She didn't do that. She didn't take any life or spill blood from any life. She kept a mojo cup filled with earth and stones and stuff like that. And it's where she basically prayed at and stuff, you know. When she seen me, when I was, I want to say I was 16, I was wearing a medicine bag. She was absolutely thrilled that I was walking in the old way. And that's exactly what she said. I'm so glad you're walking in the old way. Surprised me. I didn't think that she knew anything about medicine bags or anything like that. You know, blew me away. Wow. I was 16 at the time when it happened. It's true, Nance. It's true. There's a lot of feelings behind all that. And the majority of them are hurt feelings too. And deservedly so. Grievances, legitimate, I would say.
Well, especially, you know, when they, you know, the powers that be, they practice their own rituals.
Yeah. Yeah, they practice their own little perversions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. I do believe I have a song that covers that.
I think you do.
Let's see here. All right, come on. I'm waiting for the rest of that thing to pop up. There we go. Let's see here. Rock and Roll Wasteland kind of speaks to that a little. The ship has sailed a little bit. Let's see. Right here. Crazy Clown World. Yeah.
Every time I think of you do you and I do me, I think of this song.
All right. I hope I hit the audio. Quick sound test. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Good. Crazy clown world, music from another land. Light and sound, surrounded by light. I've got my finger on the pulse. Curators of reality, they have no personality. Music from another land, light and sound in the dark of night. Play that next. You're not alone, make your own reality. Be the monks in your life, protect mythos and mythologies. In a story for story's sake, the writing's on the wall, the band's playing. Crazy clown world, music from another land. Light and sound, surrounded by light. I've got my finger on the pulse. The curators of reality, they have no personality. Music from another land, like sound in the dark of night. You're not alone, make your own reality. Be the monks in your life, protect mythos and mythologies. In a story for story's sake, the writing's on the wall, the band's playing. Crazy clown world from another land, light and sound, surrounded by light. I've got my finger on the pulse, the curators of reality. They have no personality. Music from another land, light and sound in the dark of night. You're not alone, make your own reality. Be the monks in your life, protect mythos and mythologies. In a story for story's sake, the writing's on the wall, a band's playing. Crazy clown world, music from another land, light and sound surrounded by light. I've got my finger on the pulse, the curators of reality, they have no personality. Music from another land, light and sound in the dark of night. You're not alone, make your own reality. Indeed. Be the monks in your life, protect mythos and mythologies. Oh yeah. In a story for story's sake, the writing's on the wall, the band's playing. Crazy clown world from music from another land, light and sound surrounded by light. I've got my finger on the pulse. Crazy clown world, music from another land, light and sound surrounded by light. Yeah, that song was a little complicated in the vocals.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Okay, I think Nant's seen one of the songs. I freaking paused that. All right, Nant's just seen a song and she commented on it. I think she wants to hear it, maybe. I find myself wandering the land in search, look for a promised land, looking for that stack of sound, looking for that stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting the sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees. A magical sound, moments caught in time. Travel in a land of mystery, walking in the footsteps of history. Hey, Ashbury. Walking in the land of the ancient ones. Ancient ones. The ancient ones of magical moments. Step back, walk the land. It's the journey that matters. Take the step, take the chance, roll the dice. I find myself in the land in the search of. I find myself wandering the land. At San Francisco. In the search, looking for promised land. Looking for the stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting the sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees of magical sound. Moments caught in time. Travel in a land of mystery. Walking in the footsteps of history. Walking in the land of the ancient ones. The ancient ones and magical moments. Step back, walk the land. It's the journey that matters. Take the step, take the chance, and roll the dice. I find myself wandering the land in search, looking for promised land, looking for the stack of sound. The enlightened ones casting sound. When I was a boy, I climbed the trees of magical sound, moments caught in time. Hey.
Nice.
All right. Did it actually pause this time?
I see a spinny thing.
I did too. I was like, I wonder if it's going to trick me because it was spinning wheel when I pressed the pause button last time and it did not pause.
Whoops.
Yeah, that last song is basically about my experience following the Grateful Dead around the country in my younger days, in my youth, and seeing some pretty cool things along the way. Following the boys after Jerry had passed away, we're traveling around the country doing that too, and being out there in Shoreline, California, being up on Highway 9 up there in the mountains, camping. Yeah, it was a lot of good times I experienced in travels, and that's pretty much what that song's about. And it's about it also involves the four guys you've seen in some of the images. One of them being Jerry Garcia, one of them being Robert Hunter, and one of them David Grisman. And they're all on the other side now. They're all gone. All the music that they brought out and put out there, so they're on the other side. So they're enlightened ones now because they're gone.
Yeah, makes sense.
And the tall guy with the bass, that was John Kahn. He was Jerry Garcia band's bass player. He passed away a little after Jerry passed. Yeah, so all four of those guys are gone. Robert Hunter wrote the majority of all the Grateful Dead songs, lyrics, and in some cases the chords in the instrumental, the music part. He'd write it. Nope, because basically us humans were like little recording devices in our souls, and when we go put our hearts into things and we absorb it, and then we can resend all that stuff out as something good. And so I decided to make songs. And with there being a bunch of darkness in the world, and I'm figuring, well, I'm going to put some light out there and shine that light. There's a saying, let your love light shine, Grateful Dead song. And basically that's putting white light out there, putting positivity out there, expelling darkness. Yes, they are. So yeah, with all the stuff going on in the world, just putting a good vibe out there. You know, one can only take so much of the cray cray. We'll just call it all the cray cray, the cray cray pink elephant. Okay.
The crazy clown world.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, let's see here. Rock and Roll Wasteland. That's fairly appropriate. Yeah. Yeah. So what are your insights, Wes, when it comes to music and what you've experienced and stuff like that?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, music, it really does. It touches the soul. And, you know, the kind of music that you listen to can determine what your mood is going to be at any given time. So if you're feeling down, you know, a lot of times it's, you know, uplifting music, it really it turns things around for you.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have, I don't know if we really want to go deep into it. I mean, I can, I think that,
go deep.
I think that musicians have a perception that, I don't know if it's vibrations of the universe or the way the universe works, but it manifests itself, a perception of the universe that not ordinary people have. And when that gets put to music, our limited understanding of the universe on a subconscious level manifests itself when a musician does that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically manifesting in the song, the goodness and that feeling, and that, like I say in one of my songs, a magical moment, you know, magical moment in time that I've experienced along the way. And what you just basically described is very accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And music can do a lot of things. And back in the ancient times, when there were Celtic druids, and there were still druids, there was also bards. They were considered druids as well, but they sung and they played music, and the song in their voice is what would lift all those people up. There was energy, and that's what the bard's job was to do. It was to lift the downtrodden masses, and for a mere moment in time, and take their burden from them and experience a moment of no burdens, and then they can go back and face their reality with renewed strength.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So how you been, Deej?
Yeah, how's it going?
How's your channel been? I've been very distracted with making songs. Sometimes they've been keeping me awake. Funny times, they'll just come to me and it's like, okay, I'll just go with that flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, fun times, enjoying oneself, and putting. I hear a train. I love that sound.
I do too. A lot of people don't. Yep. There is a train in some of my walk and talks by the park I live not too far from. There are these train tracks, and you know, it's kind of soothing. It's kind of cool. It makes me, because this town has a lot of history, and I mean, if we're talking about sounds and connecting with things, it connects me to that history, you know?
Yeah. There's a park that I went to when I was a kid called Woodland Park, and there was tracks there too. And there was tracks everywhere I lived when I was a kid, and the sound of trains going by. There was one time when I was a little kid, they were decommissioning the first diesel electric trains that they had used for. They were using it for passenger trains. I don't think it was Amtrak because it was a real fancy looking engine. And they had restored it for a museum, and they were retiring it. And my dad was taking pictures of it. I was like 4. There's pictures of me sitting on a bulldozer looking all pissed off. I don't think I wanted to be there that day. Yeah.
Yeah, like it, the place I live at, and this place was built in the 19 teens, so it channels a lot of that energy too. It's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, good energy sometimes is a very needful, helpful thing.
Yeah, I always kind of wonder about all the stuff that this place has seen. Because of the 19 teens, that's a very different time.
Oh yeah, and Griffin Park. Where's Griffin Park at, Nance? No, Woodland Park in Portage, Indiana. Portage is next to Gary. Big, huge wooded park. Of course, there's woods and trees all over northern Indiana. Yeah, I look pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
I was snarling.
Yeah, my brother texted me one of myself the other day where I was a baby and I was throwing a fit or something.
Yeah, I've got my dad had this certain kind of pissed off expression, and my son Ian, when he was he couldn't have been more than 4 months old, made this expression, and I snapped a picture of it right at that moment, and I'm like, damn if that don't look like my dad making a pissed off face. Yeah, telling you. Yeah, I was like, wow. I immediately sent that to my mom, like, yeah, look familiar. He's got that pissed off look that dad got every now and then. So yeah. So let's see here. Yep, it unpause itself. I don't know why it does that.
That's weird.
So let's see here. Let's do this. Yeah. Spinny wheel. Flowers in the park singing of better times. Wish it would rain. Just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Do you ever wish for blue skies after the mist clears? The rain has stopped. Looking for rainbows on the horizon, sunset so clear. Cherry on top of that, flowers in the park. Maybe it will flow in the right direction. Flowers in the park, singing of better days. Wish it would rain, just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Flowers in the park, singing of better times. Wish it would rain, just a plain sunset after the mist clears. Do you ever wish for You know
Blue
it.
skies after the mist clears. The rain has stopped. Looking forward for rainbows on the horizon. Sun setting so clear. Cherry on top of that. Flowers in the park.
Yeah, good little ditty.
Yeah.
Words from the wise old wizard, friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Truth to power, fearful of the shadow, ranchers of delusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth? The ship has sailed. Record playing like a broken record, using too much power, never leads to truth. The grand old show, reckoning realities of majesty, the ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Truth to power, fearful of the shadow, branches of illusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth. The ship has sailed. Records playing like a broken record, using too much power, never leads to truth. The grand old show, reckoning realities of majesty, the ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, friends till the end.
Take care, Nancy.
True intentions in their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed.
Hi, Nancy.
Words from the wise old wizard, our friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. Truth to power, fearful of the shadows, ranchers of delusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth. The ship has sailed.
Salute.
Record playing like a broken record, using too much power, never leads to truth. The grand old show, reckoning realities of majesty, the ship has sailed. Words from the wise old wizard, the friends till the end. True intentions and their flags, you'll know who's true. The ship has sailed. True to power, fearful of the shadow, ranchers of delusions. The fuses are blown, why you gotta be a sleuth to find the truth? The ship has sailed. The ship has sailed. 21 years ago, I went on a journey. Went into the west, I met a moon. I jumped back 4 feet. Like a time from long ago.
That's an actual picture of the moon.
The things from legend that once spoke of.
I was wandering this land, I got lost in the desert, and then I found my way, made my escape to the east. Followed a blue moon looking for the story, ducking and diving, just caretake the lore. This is the story of the legendary meeting of the moon. Through time and space, the old man foretold meeting of the bear and the moon at the age of the prophets. 21 years ago, I went on a journey, went into the west. I met a moon, jumped back 4 feet. Like a time from long ago, popped into the room. That's me in the center. Things from legend that once was spoke of. I was wandering the land, got lost in the desert. And then I found my way, made my escape to the east. Followed a blue moon, looking for the story, duck and dive in, just caretake the lore. That is a true story. The legendary meeting of the moon.
Yeah.
That is basically the story about when I met my mentor, Moon. So yeah, good blues tune. I like rock and roll boogie blues. What can I say? It's my one of my guilty pleasures. All right, how many more songs you want to play, Wes? You want to pick one?
Hey, Unicorn and Sand Friend's always a fun one.
Pick the next one.
Um,
I'll start at the top and I'll scroll and you tell me stop.
I'm trying to pick one we haven't played already. Echo Chamber. Hey, there you go.
Yeah. All right.
I never noticed that the new moon emoji and the full moon emoji are looking in different directions before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, let me get a look-see.
RR is requesting the one with 8 weeks times 2.
Oh, waiting on the sauce.
Waiting on the sauce. Hey, that is a good one.
Yes,
haven't heard that one in a while.
It's one of the ones just before I started making the 4K video songs. There's 32 songs in there, man. Can you believe that?
Nice. Yeah. FinalDeathStar does like that one. I like it too.
He says it sticks in his head sometimes. Yeah, they all do, man. There's few of them there and there that'll definitely stick in your head.
Yeah. We want the sauce and we want it now.
If there's anybody from Facebook land from the link I put in Facebook listening, because I did share it out there. I popped it in my cousin's chat when he was active, so he was probably listening for a little bit. All right. Man, do they make a mouse that a mic can't pick up the clicking of the mouse?
Did you hear my clicking?
Yeah, because I get the same thing on some of my recordings, the very tail end. So I won't end the vocal until after it gets a little way, and then I'll stop it, and then I'll cut off that tail end where the click is at.
Huh.
Because the mic picks up my mic picks up my clicking of my mouse when I'm doing vocals.
I guess you might be able to get away with it on the touchpad and just double touch the touchpad.
Yeah, that's even louder click. Oh, touch. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I get that. That would be probably quieter, but yeah.
It's hit or miss with it though, whether it works.
Oh man, and I've got the condenser mic, that has the power supply, so this mic picks up everything.
Wow.
Movie and a unicorn and popcorn. I saw unicorns and friends. All I had was a grin. Making an Exodus movie show was getting good. I got my popcorn. Hot summer, got the beat, got some heat, can't beat it. Add this to your playlist. Do you understand the music show? Apocalyptic movie show. I got my popcorn 2 degrees. Nothing like watching this movie show. So many to choose from. Got my popcorn, yeah. Hope you got your popcorn too. Living in a post-apocalyptic movie show. The movie and a unicorn. Movie and a popcorn. Movie and a popcorn. I saw unicorns and San Fran. All I had was a grin. Making an Exodus movie show is getting good. Got my popcorn getting really deep. It got some meat, can't beat it. Add this to your list. Do you understand the music from the apocalyptic movie show? I got my popcorn too. 100 degrees, nothing like watching a movie show. So many to choose from. Got my popcorn, yeah. Hope you got your popcorn, yeah. Living in a popcorn movie show. Movie and a unicorn show.
Can you believe it's only 1 minute and 40 seconds long? Such a great tune.
Yeah, it's very catchy.
Echo chamber.
Here we go.
Don't need an echo chamber, just some good time. Need some good spoken words. Don't need no echo chamber. Empty echo chamber, echoing against the tea. It's the empty of black goo. Empty echo chamber, hide in chamber pot. That don't age well. Got fake snakes rolling out the echo chamber. The only harmful giant stepping on everyone's toes.
Pink elephant.
It just goes into an echo chamber. That old fire is weak. I got fire talk out the side of your mouth. You speak in fancy ways, but I got your number here. You think you can outfox the fox? You think you can outfox the fox? I got news for you. I see through you. I don't have time for that, no. Time won't go run on empty echo chambers. Don't need no echo chamber, just need some good times. Need some good spoken words. Don't need no echo chamber. At the echo chambers, echoing empty. It's the empty of black goo. Empty echo chamber, hide in the chamber pot. That don't age well. Got fake snakes rolling out of the echo chamber. The only harmful giant stepping on everyone's toes. It just goes to show. It just goes into an echo chamber. The old fire is weak. I got the fire. Talk out the side of your mouth. You speak in fancy ways, but I got your number here. You think I can't outfox the fox, but I tell you what, I'll fox the fox, cause I am the fox. I got news for you, I see through you. I don't have time for that, no. No time won't run on the empty echo chambers. Don't need no echo chamber, just need some good times. Need some good spoken words, don't need no echo chamber. Empty echo chambers, echoing the empty. It's the empty of black goo. Empty echo chamber, hide in the chamber pot. That don't age well. Got fake snakes rolling out the echo chamber. The only harmful giant on everyone's toes. It just goes to show an echo chamber. There's the old fire speaking. I got the fire. Talk out inside your mouth, speaking fancy ways. I got your number here. You think you can outfox the fox? I got news for you. I see through you. I don't have time for that. No, the time won't run on empty echo chambers.
All right, Wes, tell them what you've been up to, what you're doing, and latest project, and we'll see if that pause button really did work. There you go, it worked.
I've been working a lot, and I'm
driving a lot, huh?
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna probably break up the interview I did with the Facebook fact checker and have this leave the interview up. I'm gonna break it into the segments that he talked about George H.W. Bush and the Camelot situation, and also the part where I'm gonna clip out where he talked about the madness in Georgia with that lady that was doing things with paper and machines she shouldn't have been doing.
Oh yeah.
And
the dudes over and over dudes. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, she got glitched in a feedback loop, kept feeding the same stuff through time and time again. And interesting how that happens. So we're going to do that and break up we're going to break it up into clips. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing next on the channel.
So how many miles is Stockton, California from where you're at?
Oh, it's about 90 miles, depending on which part of it I'm going to.
Oh, that's a good clip. That's a pretty good clip. So what, hour and a half drive or so?
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half.
And bad traffic, it's 3 hours or more.
No, it doesn't get that bad. I'm pretty good about finding back roads if I need to.
Yeah, if you're stuck on the 5, man, it's gonna take you 3 hours. But yeah, you're right. Probably 99 would be the fastest way.
Well, they've actually widened 5 quite a lot. So 99 is actually a little bit worse than 5 now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Used to be nice. And I remember I drove up 58 north, and I took that to 99, and it was in the middle of the night, so I took that all the way up. Nice little drive.
When I drive to SoCal, I will always take 99 over 5 because 5 is just too isolated, and I like being around knowing that there are little small towns here and there.
Right. If what I liked about that 99 is there was mom and pop truck stops with diners.
Yeah.
And there was just enough of them every now and then here and there. I could refill my coffee. And if you're going to drive through a desert, and do it at night, because basically the stars, my God, the freaking stars, man. And if they're shooting stars, you're going to see them real good, because It's just so beautiful.
Absolutely.
I was almost distracted enough by the stars. I almost hit a jackrabbit. Freaking huge jackrabbit, man. It's the largest jackrabbit I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, those things get giant.
It was almost as big as a baby deer or bigger. Unbelievable.
I remember, when the housing bubble burst and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was walking up to this house, right, and everything was overgrown. And sometimes people have those little statues they put next to their front doors.
Yeah.
Well, there's this huge ass statue, I thought, and right when I got about 2 feet away from it, it hopped away. It was like a kangaroo-sized jackrabbit.
Holy wow.
Yeah.
Time to freak out when the statues start jumping away.
I was like, ah.
Yeah, the jackrabbit I almost hit. It was, I was driving an 82 Toyota Corolla wagon, and it would have put a good big dent through the whole middle of my front of my vehicle. The thing was almost as long as the width of the thing. It was almost as tall as the hood. And I literally downshifted and braked so I wouldn't hit it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a little bigger than dog size almost there.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. The ears, my God, the freaking ears. Huge.
Yeah.
And I had a real good bird's eye view of it with the lights on it.
Yep. Yeah, see, that's another thing about living in the country. There was 1 year where there was just tons of jackrabbits, and then there was 1 year where there was tons of cottontails.
Weird, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, we got all kinds of cottontails around here, little bunnies. We got raccoons. And believe it or not, the raccoons and the bunnies don't mess with each other. It's weird, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's another weird thing about the country is that skunks can actually become very tame if they're not rabid.
I've heard that. And there's a way to descent a skunk, from what I hear. Yeah. And the most classic scene in a TV show or movie is getting sprayed by a skunk, man. That shit's just funny.
Happened to the dog once. The dog was getting after one. Oh man, that was awful. That was 3 days of awfulness.
Well, tomato juice, man. You got to wash them in tomato juice. It's the only thing that works. Tomato juice.
Well, Febreze sure didn't work.
Oh no. I was in Utah, and a buddy of mine had a shepherd. Guess what? The dog got in a fight with a goddamn skunk. So, and he's got this round metal tub outside, and it was just perfect. And he's got the dog in. Dog's looking freaking miserable. The dog's taking the tomato juice, literally letting it be poured over him because the dog is like, oh my, he looks so miserable. But he's letting his owner pour this tomato juice all over him. And I'm about 5 feet away. I'm like, holy cow, that's strong.
Yeah, the dog definitely looked embarrassed.
For sure. They have this mortified look. And you know how some dogs don't want to get a bath? Oh, they want that bath. They want that. So yeah. I noticed Facebook everywhere. They're putting little labels on things and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And of course on Twitter they're putting their little labels here and there and all that stuff. And
that's the guy I interviewed, the guy that does it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch that because I didn't get a chance to check it when you were alive because I've been very distracted lately with songs and just elsewhere,
Yep. Yeah, that's why I need to clip it. It's 90 minutes, but dude, there's a lot of truth in that interview. A lot of truth.
90 minutes.
Yeah, and there's some stuff I'll tell you backstage that didn't air.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, as far as the drive, I don't mind the driving around a lot. I mean, it clears my head. Driving clears my head. Some people hate driving, but I love it.
Oh, me too. I love driving. I've drove so many miles around this country, been in so many different places, and seen so many different stuff. I've been up to Auburn Hill, Michigan, and then up in the woods up in there to see the Grateful Dead, to see the Dead, and to see further. play there, and I've been all over the place. Been up to Wisconsin. Only place that I haven't been to is Florida. Actually, I can't say that. When I was about between 3 and 4, my dad had to go get my teenage sister from her mom because, she was doing typical stuff that some teenagers do, and mom needed help, and so my dad went down and got her. And it was close to, what is it, Disneyland that's in Florida, or Disney World?
Disney World, yeah.
Well, it wasn't far from Disney World where we were at. I remember that. And I remember not even wanting to go to Disney World at all. Not a want at all. You would think a kid would want to. Because I was interested and fascinated by so many different things when I was a kid. It wasn't even a thing. But yes, let's go ahead and play Waiting on the Sauce, because was it RR that requested that?
Yep. Hey, I'm always down for Waiting on the Sauce.
Yeah, good tune. Points out some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Been sitting here for 8 weeks now. 8 weeks times 2. It's 4:34 in the afternoon. Have you heard the sauce now? Just random info. We want the sauce.
Pick up.
And we want the sauce, and we want it now. We want the sauce, and we want it now. Just a random afternoon. It's 4:44 now in the afternoon. We want the sauce right now. Baby, we want it now. 8 weeks of waiting times 2. We will
No.
have to wait
Pick up.
longer.
We had to wait on Waiting on the Sauce.
We
Yeah.
have to wait longer. Been sitting here
Maybe
for
they get
8
it now.
weeks now. 8 weeks times 2. It's 4:34 in the afternoon. Have you heard the sauce now? Random info. We want the sauce, and we want the sauce, and we want it now.
Now.
We want the sauce, and we want it now. Just a random afternoon.
Maybe
It's
that'll help.
4:44 now. We want the sauce right now. Baby, we want it now. 8 weeks of waiting times 2. Will we have to wait longer? Will we have to wait longer? Been sitting here for 8 weeks now. 8 weeks times 2. It's 4:34 in the afternoon. Have you heard of the sauce now? Just random info. We want the sauce, and we want the sauce, and we want it now. We want the sauce, and we want it now. Just a random afternoon. It's 4:44 now. We want the sauce right now. Baby, we want it now. 8 weeks of waiting times 2. Will we have to wait any longer? Baby, we want it now. 8 weeks of waiting. Will we have to wait longer? Been sitting here for 8 weeks now. Times 2. It's 4:44 in the afternoon.
Indeed. Good night, all. Have
See
a
ya.
great one. See ya.